Deadpool and Wolverine is gonna be awesome. And if it's not, I'm probably gonna go burn something down in the streets. We honestly deserve this. After all of this asinine trash that Marvel has been putting out, we deserve this. Also, Marvel could be potentially using this to do a reboot to the MCU universe. But arguably, is that even necessary? Will that save anything? Let's find out.
What happened? You mess with time, it tends to mess back. You'll see.
Your little cinematic universe is about to change forever. This just feels right.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie.
That was a strange cut, but okay.
Ryan Reynolds has been joking about rebooting the MCU in all the Deadpool and Wolverine trailers, saving the MCU because he's Marvel Jesus, he's the Messiah, and there have been many fourth wall break jokes that he's made directly at Kevin Feige, Marvel Studios, the MCU itself. He even directly calls out Fox Marvel by name during all the CinemaCon footage. But in actuality, Marvel is using him to start the process of pulling an actual reboot on the Marvel movies, the MCU itself.
Considering the TVA is involved with this, yeah, this seems very likely, by the way.
To fix a lot of problems that they're running into since Marvel Phase 4 after Avengers Endgame, because a lot of those problems will only get worse, and the MCU will only get more top-heavy as they introduce more and more characters like the Fantastic Four that are coming shortly. They also have all these brand new X-Men that they'll introduce when they do the live-action X-Men movies in several years too. So if you thought that they had problems right now with all the stuff that's going on, they're trying to integrate everything, it's only going to get worse. That is where the reboot comes in. How do you fix the MCU? You let Deadpool save it by destroying it first and then remaking it. Big reminder, we're doing a Deadpool and Wolverine ticket giveaway, so if you're new to
Okay, so the thing here is, a reboot probably sounds good because the people at Marvel, the people at Disney are complete blatantly morons, as we all know. They ruin everything that they touch. And at this point, they're probably thinking, oh my god, remember the good old times of Endgame and everyone was hype about this? Let's return to the glory days. Well, the glory days were a little bit different than they currently are. And I would argue that too many characters doesn't matter. Okay? We can have a billion, trillion, quadrillion Guardians of the Galaxy movies, and as long as they're good, no one cares. We can have the X-Men doing X-Men things, and we don't exactly need to involve the Avengers, the Hulk, the everyone in their movies if we do an X-Men movie. There's absolutely no necessary reason to do any of that crap. You can just make a good movie, but that's the problem. Marvel can't make good movies anymore. Look at the last hero movies that happened. Captain Marvel, Brie Larson, I will marry you one day. I love you, girl. What are they called? The Celestial. There was a Celestial, and now it's like this on the world or something like that. I didn't watch it, neither did you. It was trash, and everyone knew it was gonna be trash. It's Morbin time. Waspman Quantum Mania or whatever that shit is called, it burned out most people's eyes because the CGI was just so bad and the plot was so thick that you couldn't even see through it. It was trash. And it's not trash because the MCU is too overbloated or whatever. It's just trash because the writers are complete and incomprehensible dolts that care more about woke garbage and messaging. For example, look at Star Wars. Do you think the Star Wars universe requires a reboot? Hell no, obviously not. The Star Wars universe can truck along as this fine. The problem is that it just produces shit. And this is the same problem with the Marvel universe currently. It also just mainly produces shit, okay? I don't care if there's one team of superheroes or 50. As long as those teams are cool, interesting, and the movies are good, I would watch it. But look at Star Wars. The Acolyte. No one's gonna watch that. It's gonna be garbage. It looks so bad. I'm not even entertaining the idea of actually watching it. It's just bad and everyone knows it. There's no need for a reset. There's just a need for actual movies that care more about, telling a good story than gender politics. I mean, seriously, have you seen what's happening with Acolyte? The way that you get on that thing is by being gay, trans, bi, or whatever. If you're a white male, do not even try to apply. You're just gonna be yeeted and deleted. I mean, seriously, almost 100% of people involved with the Acolyte are either Harvey Weinstein's helpers, or there's someone that identifies in a certain rainbowish way. It is absolutely disgusting. And same with Marvel. It's more about messaging, wokeness, inclusivity than actually telling good stories. And a reboot will not change this. It will not change it at all.
To the channel, be sure to subscribe to get everything. I'll name a couple of giveaway winners during this video too.
Wow.
During the actual Deadpool and Wolverine trailers in the CinemaCon footage, which takes the fourth wall breaks way beyond what you ever expected, like the references just go off the charts, Deadpool is taken by the TVA, Matthew McFadden's paradox, tries to blow a bunch of smoke up his butt about becoming reality's greatest hero amongst heroes like the Avengers. They show him his future on all these monitors. They show him a bunch of previous Marvel movie footage. They also show him future Marvel movie footage that they've integrated him into, like they've edited him into some of the previous Marvel movies, making it seem like it's brand new footage. He says yes, and the CinemaCon footage kind of took this a little bit further, like you see the rest of that scene where he breaks the fourth wall again, calling out the MCU and Fox separately, and calling out superhero movie tropes. That's where a lot of the Marvel Jesus jokes come in.
I'm the Messiah. I am Marvel Jesus.
And in the context of the
It's pretty funny, though.
scene, like just the actual story-based level within the movie, just going on the internal logic, Deadpool with the TemPad here from the TVA enables him to jump across timelines, the past, the present, the future, different universes, like any normal TVA agent, Agent Deadpool, just like Loki before he became God Loki. Enables Deadpool to mess with the MCU, like basically change the MCU fundamentally, soft reboot. Basically the same thing he did with Cable's time travel device, but on a larger scale now in the traditional Marvel movies. So when Deadpool is joking here about changing the MCU, he's also calling out Marvel Phase 4, Marvel Phase 5, Marvel Phase 6, now movies and shows, with all the problems that Marvel has had in real life, saying he's going to save Marvel from itself, basically. And because it's Deadpool, you expect him to just completely mess with everything. Like Deadpool kills the Marvel Universe. In reality,
That has actually happened. There is this one instance where he gets a sword that can kill anything. And so he does. He kills literally everyone. Haven't read that, but I know it's a thing.
he said obviously he's just clowning on all the Marvel movies, and of course it would be amazing if Deadpool and Wolverine, the movie itself, were so good that it turned around all public opinion for everybody that's been disappointed in Marvel since Avengers Endgame.
Now, how good Deadpool and Wolverine is going to be is really hard to tell. Because it has been trash after slop after slop after shit. So, one good movie is not really gonna make people return or hope for the best. Because when you make a bad movie after bad movie, you know, probability is just gonna take its course and you're accidentally gonna make one good one. And people kind of expect this. And this might as well be Deadpool and Wolverine. Who honestly knows, right? I think it's going to be a success. Is it going to be like the biggest breaker of all time? Kind of hard to tell. I would say probably no. But it is going to be successful. Highly, highly successful. And probably crush in the opening week. Or the opening day even. Because it looks good. Everything so far that we have seen doesn't scream bad, doesn't scream anything. It just looks kind of good. It looks cool.
We'll get into that in a second with all their real-life production issues behind the scenes, but Ryan Reynolds is also trying to remind people not to overhype the movie too much. Like, even if it does over $1 billion and he messes with older Marvel movies and somehow makes them seem better in retrospect, that'll be a bonus, so don't go into the movie expecting too much of it. But also, on the other side of that coin, Marvel is...
That does sound stupid, though. Oh, go to a movie, see it, but don't expect a lot from it because it's your typical MCU slop.
Is using him to fix a lot of their current problems in the most meta Deadpool way possible. Not just using the Deadpool and Wolverine movie because they need all that extra money, like, please, everybody, spend $1 billion on this movie. We could really use that $1 billion. But also using the Deadpool character in a meta way to fix a lot of their problems behind the scenes in real life. And it all starts with them letting him take the piss out of Marvel. That's why the movie is so full of Disney jokes, Kevin Feige jokes, MCU jokes, Fox jokes. It goes way beyond that. Like, you're just seeing a taste of it in the trailers.
Want to do some cocaine?
how does he know that we're just seeing a taste of it in the trailers? Maybe those are all the jokes in the trailers. Wouldn't be the first time that Marvel does it, aka put the only parts that they know that people are gonna find good or interesting in the trailers, and everything else is just bad.
Hey, cocaine is the one thing that Feige said is off limits.
What about Bolivian marching powder?
They know all the slang terms. They have a list.
The first step in Marvel correcting a lot of their previous
This was a good shot, I think. When I saw this, I thought this was good. Some people are saying it's not that great. I think it's good because this is supposed to, in the trailer, represent the fact that, hey, there's a list of things that that you're not supposed to do, and they're just using a cocaine as an analogy here. But there's this list that we can't do, but we're gonna circumvent it as much as possible, if not flat out ignore it. This was what I gathered from this scene. Now, admittedly, a lot of people do think a little bit differently. Some people don't even like this scene. I think it's nice. I think it's no problem. I think it's good.
previous mistakes is in acknowledging that there was a problem in the first place that needs to be fixed. It's all about acceptance. Deadpool is both the therapist here and the surgeon with the scalpel that they're using to perform some much needed surgery on the movies. So if this movie was going to be so good for them, why did they wait so long to release Deadpool 3? Like, why didn't they release this right after Avengers Endgame when they should have released it?
Oh, that's just lazy writing.
In real life, during 2019, after the Fox-Disney buyout deal finished legally, Kevin Feige got control of all the X-Men, Fantastic Four, some other characters back. Not every character, because you
What was this actually? Was this originally a Freddie Mercury concert?
still have all the problems with Universal, the
No,
Hulk rights,
probably
and the
not.
Sony Spider-Man sharing deal, so they don't have every single character
Nah,
right now.
definitely not.
But they got all the X-Men, all the Fantastic Four back, which are huge. They should have been leading with those characters during Marvel Phase 4. But after the buyout
Oh Jesus! No one wanted them to lead with the Fantastic Four or the X-Men or anything like that. All the X-Men movies are the biggest, hugest, disappointingest trash in the history of ever. Okay, how many years has it taken now us to just get Wolverine back in his original costume? Well, this is not even the fully original one, but that's small details they honestly don't even care that much about. How long did that take? Forever, okay? No one wanted this. No one wants to see this aberration of the X-Men. The Fantastic Four is also trash. Never have been also a fan of the Fantastic Four, but the X-Men, that's the shit, boy, okay? 97 was the first piece of media that actually showed the X-Men in a positive light in decades at this point. And before 97, the last time the X-Men were shown in positive light on the big screen or television or anywhere was also the original 97. So that's really a bad track record. Literally 30 years later, baby, in this situation. It is sad, okay? I do not trust the MCU with X-Men at all. The last time they did something with X-Men, they said girl power, and that was literally it. It was horrible, trash, and sad. Also, the girl that plays Sansa Stark should not be considered an actor even at this point. She is just a horrid garbage.
it clears the government, like they get the characters back and start integrating the company. Most people were thinking about Kevin Feige's problem in how to actually introduce those characters. Like, all of a sudden you have these characters, how do you explain they're just showing up in the MCU right now? There are actual ways to do that that totally make sense without having to reboot things and completely change everything you've been doing so far. There are a lot of jokes about this when the Eternals movie came out. Like, why didn't the Eternals...
Oh, it's the Eternals. Yeah, that's the one I didn't watch and no one else did also. It looked like shit. Like, the trailer literally concentrated on the fact on how diverse shit is and how gay everyone is. Like, why would I watch a movie like that? And you see, when if they reboot the MCU, that's not going away. That's not rebooted. That's gonna continue be a thing.
Eternals help out during the final battle in Avengers Endgame. I felt like the reason Marvel gave us in the movie was not a good reason. There were better ways to explain that. But here's the issue with all the X-Men and the Fantastic Four Deadpool characters, for instance. Back at Comic-Con 2019, Kevin Feige started hyping up with the interviews he was doing that Fantastic Four movies, X-Men movies would be coming, and they would be good. Like, they would spend the time they needed to actually make good movies. But here's the thing with that. Legally, before this point, per the terms of the buyout deal, like just the way the law works in the United States when companies buy out each other, before the ink was dry and the deal cleared Congress and they actually started integrating the companies, Kevin Feige was legally not allowed to have any kind of planning meetings or suggestion meetings. He couldn't even joke about X-Men or Fantastic Four inside the Marvel offices with any other employees, any new actors. He couldn't talk to anybody about playing new versions of characters. And he said,
oh yeah, look at how great this is. Shit. Jesus, no.
Many times in the past, as the president of the studio, he has to plan the movies and the shows 5 years out. So like right now, he has to know what movies they're probably going to release in 5 years in 2029. And remember, at this time, they're releasing about 3 movies per year, and they were getting ready to launch Disney Plus with a couple of shows like WandaVision, the Loki series, all that other stuff during Marvel Phase 4. So all the movies that we saw during Marvel Phase 4, like the Eternals movie, Falcon and Winter Soldier, all that other stuff, he had to have that planned almost up to 5 years before Avengers Endgame came out. It takes an army of people to make all those movies and shows. Like, he had to hire all those people. They had to work out the stories with the writers, the directors, hire all the actors. And
maybe this is the problem. Maybe the fact that they can't work out anything, and they, the things that they work out are not plot details. They're just, what kind of message we're gonna put in which movie. That's pretty much the only thing they honestly work out, in my opinion, at this point.
And actually start production years and years before Avengers Endgame came out. And at the time all that started, it was long before the Marvel Disney people started talking to each other about an actual buyout. So none of those movies could involve any X-Men or Fantastic Four characters in any major ways at all. So you have this giant backlog of stuff that they've already been spending billions of dollars in production on to actually get out the door when they actually get the rights to X-Men, Deadpool, Fantastic Four back, which is why you did not see Deadpool 3 come out right after Avengers Endgame. Even though Kevin Feige could come up with ideas on his own in his head, like so he could be ready to hit the ground running when they got the rights, the problem is he had to have a lot of movies ready to go if the deal did not go through, because that happens a lot too. Like, sometimes the deal might clear both companies, but Congress will turn it down. There's big problems in the United States with a lot of companies buying each other out. So they had to have a completely separate...
That's not a problem. That's actually a good thing that this exists. Otherwise, Google would have bought everything already. It's already doing it anyway.
Marvel Phase 4 plan that did not depend on X-Men or Fantastic Four going right after Avengers Endgame. But in reality, how do you follow up on 10 years of traditional MCU characters if they knew they were going to kill off Iron Man, retire Captain America, kill some of their heavy hitters, Scarlet Witch, Frank...
No. They didn't kill off their heavy hitters. They replaced them with fucking trash. That's what they did. They didn't just kill like... Okay, let me give you the quick rundown. What we have here.
The traditional MCU characters, if they knew they were going to kill off Iron Man.
Iron Man. Who does he get replaced? With vibraniums. Some kind of autistic girl who made a vibranium. No, wasn't a vibranium? I don't know. She made a vibranium detector that can find vibranium, but she can't even test it because she hasn't found any vibranium. But it's just shit. Then we got Namor. Yeah, Namor. Say it with me. Namor. Okay? We got Namor. Riri Williams. Characters that literally should be sent straight off to the guillotine. And then we got, what did we replace Captain America with? Oh, yeah. Some black dude who's not Captain America. It's gonna be great. And then I think he even got a show, and no one watched it because it's stupid. Okay? This is literally what it is. Because it's not even Captain America. It's literally Black Captain America. Okay? Do I need to spell this out for you? Captain America didn't get replaced by Captain America. Captain America got replaced by Black Captain America, whose whole personality and everything around him is, yes, but I am black. It's shit. It's shit.
Scarlet Witch, for example, is amazing. WandaVision was fun. Like, there was some fun stuff during Marvel Phase 4. But in reality...
Oh, look at that. Also, yeah, they plan to bring in Agatha, which I'm sure everyone can say. I don't even know who Agatha is, by the way.
Was some fun stuff during Marvel Phase 4. But in reality, anybody could look at the situation and just say, if they wanted to keep using Scarlet Witch, why don't you just put her in an X-Men movie? Like, if you want the next 10 years
No, because you need to put Scarlet Witch for the message. That's how it works, and blah blah blah.
of Marvel to feel like something completely fresh with the biggest A-list characters you have, why don't you lead with an X-Men movie, Deadpool 3, Fantastic Four, with new versions of actors, and just integrate some of the classic actors like Scarlet Witch into that X-Men movie? That's why in present day, a lot of
Can't. People like Scarlet Witch too much. I'm a huge Scarlet Witch fan, by the way. We can't just put in good things. No. We need to ruin them first. She's not lesbian enough.
movie. That's why in present day, a lot of people just think of Marvel Phase 4, Marvel Phase 5, Marvel Phase, like the multiverse saga in general, as the time we spent waiting for X-Men to actually show up. Like, what happened between 2020 and 2029? Well, we spent a lot of time waiting for like the really cool characters to show up. I am sure Marvel talked about this behind the scenes while they were making Avengers Endgame and they were in the middle of that Fox Disney buyout. They should have had a moment, just like a hot second in that movie, where they explained that the 4 times the Infinity Gauntlet got snapped in the MCU, Thanos snaps the first time, the second snap when he retires to his garden world to atomize the stones. We got the Hulk snap, then Iron Man's Infinity Gauntlet snap. And at the beginning of that movie, Rocket Raccoon had a line of dialogue that could have been the key to setting up X-Men showing up much sooner in the MCU. They could have completely changed things for the better.
When Thanos snapped his fingers, Earth became ground zero for a power surge of ridiculously cosmic proportions. No one's ever seen anything like it.
All they had to do at some point during the ending of the movie was have the Hulk or someone else say that all...
You know what I hate, by the way? They had the X-Men, and then they fucking added the Inhumans, okay? And the Inhumans have gotten through so many iterations, by the way. It is absolute insanity. From a small group of people to a small secluded group of people, now to literally in the billions. The Terrigen Mist, how many shit has that gone through? The Inhumans are just so lame. They're like X-Men 2.0, and there was a time when Marvel and comics and everything tried to really concentrate on it, but it just doesn't work because the humans are fucking lame. That's pretty much it. The only semi-decent thing that covered the Inhumans was Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. many years ago. Probably most of you don't even know about it. I actually watched it for a little bit. It was okay. Until it wasn't, and it turned to shit because the Inhumans, it was the Inhumans all along. Oh man, the Inhumans just ruin everything. They need to be genocide out of the MCU and everything Marvel related. There's nothing good about the Inhumans. The best part about the Inhumans is Medusa because she's hot. There you go. Literally, that's it.
All those Infinity Gauntlet snaps released so much cosmic energy around the world that it started to affect people, quote unquote, in strange ways. And then just have Deadpool 3 take place right after Avengers Endgame to lighten the tone and tease X-Men. Then you do that first big X-Men movie with all that cosmic energy released during Endgame, activating all these X genes across the world. Suddenly mutants start popping up everywhere, and that's how they introduce a totally new X-Men cast with younger actors, and it explains why you haven't seen them in the MCU yet. Like, oh, there weren't X-Men because the snaps actually led to the creation of the X-Men. They could have also said...
Yeah, that sounds stupid. No, I am absolutely done with that. Anyway, that was Emergency Awesome. Pretty good, pretty interesting. I don't think reboot the MCU is gonna achieve anything, honestly. The old problems that made these movies bad are gonna persist, and that's gonna be pretty much it. Anyway, bye-bye.